Thank you for sharing in this time of silence and stillness together. If something has come up for you, please feel free to meet with a prayer chaplain after service. If you are live streaming, you can go to our website and request a prayer, and a prayer chaplain will respond. Blessings to you.
Good morning, Unity in Marin. We have such a social group here. Everyone's talking and chatting, and good to see you, old friends and new, in person or on the live stream. My name is Carolyn Gauthier. I am one of the staff members here. I'm the music director. And we are allowing our wonderful Reverend Deanne to have a much-needed rest for a few days. So we can be grateful for her and her taking care of herself, and also be really excited because we have a wonderful guest speaker. J.D. Schramm has been here many times. He's one of our favorite guest speakers. He is the husband of Ken Daigle, who's the minister of San Francisco Unity. They have 3 beautiful children. And he also is the person who donated all those nativities that we had here last Christmas time. Those of you who came, they were just amazing from all over the world. And so we thank you for that. And we're going to do that again next year. So if you missed it, don't miss it in 2024. And also today, our guest musician is Nicholas Beard. We're very excited to have him back. He has been here before. The pandemic changed some of our programming, but we're so glad to have him back. A wonderful jazz vocalist, a world-famous guy, and we're just honored to have him here. So if you are new to Unity in Marin, we are a community of seekers. We are looking for ways to connect with each other, ways to grow. We are dedicated to inclusivity, so all are welcome. And we honor the Christ in each one. We see you for who you truly are, and we want to connect with you. We want to learn with you. So we invite you to take this opportunity to go a little deeper into your own spiritual practice. There will be times of prayer, of meditation, times of joyful singing, and times of going deep in some more information with JD. So it promises to be a wonderful service. And I would like to remind you that today there's going to be a remembrance circle for Richard Manti. Richard was could you click that for me? I didn't bring it up here. Richard was our original minister here at Hamilton. Candida Wright was the first minister who started Unity in Marin 60 years ago, yes, 60. And Richard was the second. We have a wonderful history of very deep thinkers and feelers in this community. So this afternoon at noon, there will be a remembrance circle so people can talk about their wonderful memories of Richard, and this is a memorial candle that we light for him today. We hold him in our hearts. He made his transition on Easter Sunday, which was perfect for him. And now, let's take a deep breath together. Going to join in singing our song, Breathing. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the breath of life flow through me. Love is here, love is now. I am breathing love. Breathing in, breathing out. Let the breath of life flow through me. Joy is here, joy is now. I am breathing joy. Now let's take one verse just to breathe in whatever it is that you need in this moment. Breathe in and breathe out. Breathing in, go deeper, I'd like to invite Kathleen O'Dea up to lead us in a time of prayer.
At this time in the Sierra, at this kind of year, there's lots of snow and very few people. And so the stillness of the mountains and the expansiveness of the sky is more tangible. So I invite you now, if you haven't already done so, to settle into right where you are. And to breathe in the stillness of those big, big mountains. To breathe out that small little self that keeps chattering to you. And to breathe in the expansiveness of the sky. And to know that that stillness and that expansiveness is the mystery, is God itself, is the heartbeat of the universe. And that is in you and me as we are in it. Wendy, since I forgot, please bring this prayer box up and we'll just all hold space together as we stay in this place of stillness and expansiveness, this place of the mystery. I, you, we all have every quality within us, the qualities of the divine that we need to navigate this day and this time in our lives. You have in you are stillness and strength, courage, compassion. And I invite you to open more deeply to those qualities that you are and allow them to guide you, to deepen within you, to open wide within you, so that you can be the person and the light that you are meant to be. And as your light increases, as you hold this space within yourself, you are a light to the world. For the great gift of life and the opportunity to wake up in each and every moment with each and every breath, we say thank you and amen. James, the inspirational word.
Thank you, Kathleen. Good morning, Unity. So it's now time for our inspirational reading, time to let these words become part of your morning reflection, your morning meditation, or prayer. I invite you in this moment to take a deep breath and to pause, to close your eyes if you wish. And I invite you to let these words become your words. The affirmation for today is, in our unity of spirit, we share love, wisdom, and understanding. In the plant kingdom, individual plants connect to other members of their species through a complex root system. Together, they form a community in which individuals support one another and thrive. Our human family is an interconnected and interconnected community rooted in oneness of God. Because God is everywhere present, we are not separate from God, nor are we separate from one another. In God's omnipresence, we are one. We are blessed by the sharing of our love, wisdom, understanding, and caring. As a worldwide community, we unite in taking action to create a world in which all live in peace and love. Once again, the affirmation for today is, in our unity of spirit, we share love, wisdom, and understanding. Please know this with me. In our unity of spirit, we share love, wisdom, and understanding. Thank you. Deborah.
Good morning, Unity. I am your service assistant with zeal this year. Zeal, it was my word for this year. So, for those who are on the welcome team, and that would be all of you, please be mindful of there are people around you that you don't know or that you haven't connected with. Even if it's been a long time, or reconnect, find time to reconnect, and share yourselves with each other, especially after service today in our potluck hospitality courtyard. And also, if you have questions about Unity and Marin, please go see the board table and get your questions answered. If you'd like to connect with us by technology, you can connect by text to the telephone number 415-991-7111 and text the word welcome, and Deanne will respond to you, and there's a lot of chatter there, so feel free to meet up there. We have a spiritual connection card of which you can get connect again. Another way to connect, it's part of the bulletin that you received today. You just tear off this little sheet. You'll see some questions there, fill it out, and later on you'll be able to put that in the offertory basket. I'd like to highlight just a few of the activities, the little activities that are happening this year. We are rocking and rolling here. So there's something for everyone. I just want to highlight the first three. As Carolyn mentioned earlier in the opening of our service today, Richard Monti, there will be a remembrance circle today at noon. And then on Earth Day on the 21st, that's next Sunday, and that's going to be a big celebration. And then also on the 27th, which would be the next slide, our campus cleanup day. And there's a lot to get done here. It takes a huge team, lots of people to get this campus to sparkle. And we want it to sparkle. Why? Because next month is our what? Yes. You listen. Rock on, people. Rock on. So come with your gloves and your tools and help spiff up the place. And also, did I see pizza? I see pizza. Okay, I'll be here. So I'm always here for pizza. Okay, so then, and that would help the facilities teams. They do so much work, so this is our way of supporting that team. Today's flower sponsor is by Joel and Santon. Give to Caesar what is Caesar's. Give to Unity and be blessed, smile, because tomorrow is tax day. Like we all needed to be reminded of that. We don't, we know. Flowers were arranged by Veronica Champion. They're beautiful, Veronica, thank you. Our second flower sponsorship is Linda and James Hendry for their happy born day to their daughter, Darby, and her wife, Shalila. And they love them, and we love them too. So happy birthday. And another sponsor, hospitality sponsor, is Wendy Miley for all you April babies. Yay! Yeah, those Aries, rock on Aries. I'm surrounded by Aries. My mom was an Aries, my son's an Aries, my good friend's an Aries. Yeah, I know how to work with you people. And if you would like to sponsor hospitality or flower, please see Charcel. She'll be in the courtyard for signups. And our sacred service spotlight is It takes a village to support this community. Charcel is a community all by herself. She's a powerhouse. She keeps that engine running underneath us. She keeps us moving forward. We appreciate you. We love you. You're awesome. You are just awesome. She's in charge of the Christmas decorating, putting them up, bringing them down. I mean, her hands are in everything. So please honor Charcel. We have a mission statement, and please say this with me. Unity in Marin is a loving community dedicated to spiritual growth, inclusivity, and service. We honor and care for ourselves, each other, and the natural world. Our core values are connectivity, inclusivity, authenticity. And we're going to highlight inclusivity today, this morning. Cultivating a safe space to celebrate diversity and value the uniqueness of every person. We widen our lens to understand and honor the lived experiences of others. We are enriched and become more as we consciously question our assumptions. We cultivate a space of belonging for all before they come into the door. Thank you. And at this time, I'd like to have Nicholas Bird. Let's welcome him. Thank you.
Thank you. It's a great pleasure to be back with you all today. It's a song of inspiration. It's a song originally, the first time I heard it was Elvis Presley did it. Big shoes to fill. I believe for every drop of rain that falls, a flower grows. I believe that somewhere in the darkest night a candle glows. I believe for everyone who goes astray, someone will come to lead the way. I believe, I believe, I believe above the storm, the smallest prayer can still be heard. I believe that someone in the great somewhere hears every word. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know why. I believe. Every time I hear a newborn baby cry, or touch a leaf, or see the sky, then I know why. I believe. Thank you. Thank you. How about it for Jeremy? Thank you so much.
All of that? Richard, that was truly lovely. Truly lovely. Thank you. May I begin by sharing some wisdom from a poet with all of you? This is from Ginny Joseph, titled Warning. For the women who are used to hearing scripture and you have to translate when it's all about the men, guys, this is all about the women, but it's for you too. Warning. When I am an old woman, I shall wear purple with a red hat, which doesn't go and doesn't suit me. And I shall spend my pension on brandy and summer gloves and satin sandals and say we've no money for the butter. I shall sit down on the pavement when I'm tired and gobble up samples in shops and press alarm bells and run my stick along the public railings and make up for the sobriety of my youth. I shall go out in my slippers in the rain and pick flowers in other people's gardens and learn to spit. You can wear terrible shirts and grow more fat and eat 3 pounds of sausages at a go, or only bread and pickle for a week, and hoard pens and pencils and beer mats and things in boxes. But now we must have clothes that keep us dry and pay our rent and not swear in the street and set a good example for the children. We must have friends to dinner and read the papers. But maybe I ought to practice a little now, so people who know me are not shocked or surprised when suddenly I am old and start to wear purple. This is from a book by the title, When I Am an Old Woman, I Shall Wear Purple. And as I prepared for today's lesson on the topic of wisdom should be shared, can't be taught, I thought that was what I really wanted to begin with. And it carries for me special meaning. That was one of my mother's favorite poems. She passed away in 2002. But my daughter, Roma, is named for my mother, Roma. And so this morning, as I was doing my final prep in my study at home, I got to read the poem to Roma. And she thought she should be able to spit and curse and do all. I said, no, you're not old. You're not old. And I'm also grateful that I was a little concerned when I got here. I'm not one to be afraid of my age, but I'm not one to announce it all the time. And when I kept seeing the 60 on everything, I was like, really, people, chill. And then I realized I am as old as your church. So you turn 60 in May, I'll turn 60 in June, or in August, we'll all be together. I've always taught. Like, my first job out of college was teaching at the high school I graduated from. A little bit of welcome back Cotter sort of experience going on in Western Kansas. When I first moved to Marin in the early 90s, I had a day job as essentially a secretary for a stockbroker, and then a night job teaching SAT prep to high school students. I worked as a TA to pay for part of my MBA, and then after my MBA, I just stayed in academia for the better part of 25 years. And much of which was at Stanford, and I graduated after 13 years, and most people get out of the business school in 2. But I graduated right about the time Ken and I moved to Marin, and now I still keep my finger in. I teach nights for USC 1 night a week in their online masters, but I also get to teach in moments like this, and I've been looking forward to this conversation ever since Deanne reached out to me and asked if I could be with you on this particular Sunday. and what would I like to talk about? And I said, I've been doing a lot of work in wisdom and wisdom studies. I said, I like the concept that wisdom is to be shared, not taught. And so I don't see myself as a teacher today, but just someone here to share some wisdom of my own, mostly wisdom of other people. So the context for this conversation, first of all, I had to look up. I love I don't have slides today. Relax those who are like, oh, it hadn't advanced yet. There's nothing to advance. And the context for this is really old. It actually comes from older than me. 1916, Carl Jung said this: "One cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of life's morning. For what was great in the morning will be of little importance in the evening. And what in the morning was true will at evening have become a lie." Over 100 years ago, Carl Jung made the distinction that Richard Rohr, who is a Franciscan priest that I follow, took to call the two halves of life. And that's what I really want to have us think about as the context for this conversation about wisdom. And I often hear the phrase, what got you there won't get you here, or what got me there won't get me ahead, which was coined by Marshall Goldsmith. But it's the whole concept that at different points in our life, we need different skills, different insights, different approaches. And I like the way Richard Rohr talked about it in terms of there really is like a fulcrum in life. There's a point in life where what we had done early in our lives becomes less important, and there is a second half, a second chapter that becomes more important. In his book, Falling Upward, he says it this way: "The task of the first half of life is to create a proper container for one's life and to answer the first essential questions. What makes me essential? How can I support myself? Who will go with me? What makes me significant? How can I support myself? Who will go with me? The task of the second half of life is quite simply to find the actual contents that this container was meant to hold and deliver. As Mary Oliver, the poet, puts it, what is it you plan to do with your one wild and precious life?" So thinking through what has gotten you to the place you are today has obviously worked. We are all here, we are all upright, we are all engaged. What has gotten us to this point has been effective, but may not be the best set of skills to take us to the next half, the next chapter of life. I said that I'm not going to teach, but I really feel naked up here without PowerPoint slides. So hang on just one second here. Oh, man, I feel so much better having a flip chart behind me for these remarks. Now, a couple of thoughts about the flip chart. First of all, it worked much better in the hallway than it is right now. There we go. Secondly, I am going to illustrate this concept, but my illustration is directionally important. It's important that you see the image that I create. It's not important that you read the words that I put up here. I'm going to talk through everything that goes on this, and when I finish, the ushers are going to give you a handout. Okay, so don't worry about trying to capture this in the content, but in the spirit of what we're going to talk about. And now with that, I think I need markers. There we go. Okay. Oh, I feel better. All of a sudden, I feel better. Okay, now with this, hold the rainbow for a little while. Let's start with a dull color. There we go. Start with black. Now, watch what I do here. This is very important at this point. Okay. That is the image I want you to hold in mind. It's an X for those in the back row by Brandy. And what is apparent to me, and in the reading that I've done, not just from Richard Rohr, but also from Chip Conley, who I'll talk a little bit more about in a moment, is that in the early part of our lives, we are very focused on the resources, the skills, the experience, how I'm going to make money, am I going to raise a family, who I'm going to live with, and all of that achievement that goes into the early part of life moves us from at the bottom where we begin with a growth mindset of what's next, where am I headed, and from that growth mindset, we then move into, as a young person, emerging adult. I think most of us have passed that. No judgments, and then ultimately to where I would say we exist as an embodied adult. And Chip Conley, and the research that he has done with the Modern Elder Academy, he talks about that this is, you might imagine that this takes us from, oh, there we go. This takes us from the chain is what's struggling on the back. Oh, there, that's what we needed. That's it.
Is that going to do it?
Yeah, the chain was what was struggling us there. This takes us from, it's a 16 up to anywhere from 40 to 65. That we go through this experience of what it's like to be looking forward to adulthood, like my children, my 5-year-old, my 8-year-old, just can't wait until they're older. Like, no, slow down, take your time. And then move to, thank you so much. Could we have just a round of applause? That we go into being an emerging adult and then ultimately at some point an embodied adult. And at that point, there's almost this sense of, is that all there is? Is that what I've done all of this for? And many people call this a midlife crisis, which is a phrase that I really want to urge you to stop using now that I've coaxed you into using it the first time. But what Chip Conley says is it's not, we don't need to put the language of crisis into this, but it really is a midlife chrysalis. It is an opportunity, bless you, it is an opportunity to rethink, reshape, and re-become what we need for the second half of life. And so as we move up that continuum, and this is the one that's tough for me as I approach 60, we become the embodied elder, and ultimately the elder flower. And this journey towards adulthood, and this can go up to 105 or even higher as we want to look at it, this point right here, this point right in the center is that moment where we can decide what it is that I'm going to become, what it is that I am going to do next. Chip calls this the emerging elder, and also talks about this is the point where we are in the chrysalis phase. The chrysalis phase is when the caterpillar, who has been working really flipping hard goes into the cocoon, and then in the chrysalis, in that liminal state, is reconfigured, rebuilt, and emerges as the butterfly. And that concept of stepping into being an elder for others. Now, I wanted you to stop saying midlife, the C word. Another phrase that I think we need to limit our use of is that elder doesn't need to be at the heart of elderly. But those of us who have life's experiences, who have wisdom to share, we can actually step into being an embodied elder. Chip Conley founded what's called the Modern Elder Academy that he found when he was 54 years old and working at a startup, the founders of which were 27. It was like, I realized I needed to be the adult in the room. And for many of us, it's stepping into, with grace and with comfort and with some level of pride, that we now are at a place where we can perhaps take our foot off the gas pedal. We don't have to be doing the achievement that got us to our mid-50s, mid-60s, mid-70s, but that it allows us to then be the person who can share wisdom. Now, I titled this talk, Wisdom is to be shared, not taught, in that I really wanted us to think about that it is our experience, probably more so when things didn't go well, that allows us to bring wisdom into a situation. It can be that we have wisdom from when things went well, but oftentimes our successes aren't nearly as interesting as our mistakes or our failures or the challenges that we've had. I do a lot of work with entrepreneurs, and often investors who are thinking about making an investment in an entrepreneur will ask, what companies have you already started? And where have you been successful? And where have you failed? Because it is in the failure and in seeing the lessons from the failure that an investor will realize, this is somebody I need to take a shot on. If somebody either can't acknowledge they failed or can't acknowledge what they learned from it, it's a riskier investment from a VC or an angel investor's point of view. And so I wanted all of us this morning to just be able to take some joy and some pride in the experiences that we have that allow us to step into being an elder. At this stage, once we have stepped out of that experience of being the emerging elder, at this stage is where we really are able to bring mastery, legacy, and wisdom to the communities that we have the privilege of being a part of. I love that we acknowledge Richard as we began and his transition on Easter Sunday. How poetic and fitting, but to really look at the legacy that we all experience from what he was able to create for us here. And so thinking through, what is it that is my legacy? What is it that I have achieved mastery in? And what is it that I am then able to share with others? Now, a couple of caveats about sharing your wisdom with others. This would be a great point, Brandy. I do have this in much cleaner detail as a handout. I ran 50 copies off, and so it may need to be one per household in a couple places. If you don't get one, snap a photo of somebody else's handout. But I've taken the illustration from Chip Conley's work at Modern Elder and have put it on a handout. But I want to give you a couple of insights about sharing your wisdom. First, You need to be invited. Yeah, sorry about that one. Deanne will never have me come back again if you all jump into her office on Tuesday or Wednesday and say, so I've got some wisdom to share with you. You know, the color of paint. No, that's not what I'm talking about. You have to either be invited, or who remembers the first sentence out of my mouth? May I have permission to share? May I have, oh, that's true. That was the first, do I have to follow that? Then when I started, well done, Giselle, well done. And then after that, I said, may I have permission to share the wisdom from the poet, Jenny Joseph? So we can share, but we want to be sure that we're in dialogue with somebody who is open to and welcoming that which we have to share. The second caveat that I want to add to that is, if you're uncertain, it doesn't mean you need to be silent, but it may mean you need to tread even more carefully. I will often say something to the effect of, I'm wondering about, or I'm curious if. Rather than a direct statement, I will soften it with a question so that what I think is wisdom, what I think is wise, what I think people need to hear, lands with a sense of possibility rather than, I know this is what you need to do. This can be particularly difficult for those of us who are parents or grandparents, because we know what we would have done if we could go back and remake that decision that we chose the wrong job or we chose the wrong partner. But that's our life. That's our experience. And so not only should we have permission or invitation to share, but we want to do so in a way that we share with possibility and with opportunity, not with absolute certainty. So the two items I want you to think about this week as you let this construct of the two halves of life from Father Richard Rohr and the midlife chrysalis from Chip Conley, the two things that I want you to think about is, regardless of the physical age, where do you see yourself on your career journey, on your life's journey? I know that, touching 60, I should be in the chrysalis. Oh, I would love to retire. I look at my friends on Facebook that are retiring, and I recognize that Ken and I decided to be late in life parents. So with a 5-year-old and an 8-year-old, I'm not retiring for many more years. So part of me is still in the embodied adult, part of me is in the emerging, and part of me thinks in certain areas I can actually step into, rather than being the recipient of mentorship, be the one who offers mentorship. And so I invite you this week to think about where it is that you fall, and then where would you like to be able to share your wisdom as your legacy? Perhaps it's a community that you already know. Perhaps it's within your family or your employment or other nonprofits you're a part of. And maybe it's a community that you need to yet go find. Maybe there is a volunteer opportunity or a school community or a school opportunity or a school community that would benefit from you being able to bring your wisdom to a world that so needs and welcomes the contribution that we have to offer. I included for you the two books that I used in preparing this, as well as the website for the Modern Elder Academy, where I've taken some courses, both online, and Ken and I have taught courses for them. Not as a promotional piece, but just if you want more, to feel free to go there. I also listed my email address and the newsletter that I do, which is free. It's on communication. Because as I was doing the prep yesterday for today, I realized this is what I want to talk about in my next newsletter, is the beauty of being able to not teach something from a knowledge point, but to share something from a wisdom point. And with that, I thank you so much for letting me be with you today. Namaste.
Today's affirmation. In our unity of spirit, we share love, wisdom, and understanding. And so it is. Now we'd like to have Nicholas come back up and sing another wonderful song for us.
On a clear day, rise and look around you, and you will see who you are. On that clear day, how it will astound you that the glow of your being outshines every star you feel a part of. Every mountain, sea, and shore, you'll hear from far and near words you never heard before. On that clear day, on that clear day, you can see forever and ever more. Come on, Jerry. There you go. Come on. You'll feel a part of every mountain, sea, and shore. You can hear from far and near what you've never heard before. On that clear day, on that clear day, you can see forever and ever more. That's right. You can see forevermore. Forever and ever and ever and ever and ever more. Well, forevermore. All right, thank you. Thank you. How about it for Jeremy on the piano? Thank you so much.
That was a perfect song to end on that talk. JD, that was exactly what I needed to hear, because I'm in that chrysalis thing. And I wasn't sure why I was here, because I'm 65 and I'm kind of like semi-retired. So I just went from 4 jobs to 3 jobs. And it feels good, but it feels weird. I don't know. Anyway, I'll figure it out. But I'm not gonna panic now, because I was panicking. I was like, what's wrong with me? Ah. But I'm good. We're good. It's all good. And with that too, it's also, I have to say, very important to, and James would agree with me, physical fitness is so important. So important. If you don't have your health, you can't share nothing. Right? You can't do nothing, can't share nothing. So please take care of yourself. and move, 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 however that looks to you. In a few moments, we'll have the ushers come forward for our giving and receiving. And I'd like to introduce you to different ways that you can give. For those who are online, you can see all the options that you have. For those who are in the room, did I bring it with me? Of course I didn't. You have your connection card, and on there, well, as a reminder, you can put your connection card inside the basket along with whatever you want to share that's in your heart. So these are all the different ways to give. And we do have an offering affirmation that we can say together. I am the power of abundance, giving and receiving gratefully. Okay, can we say that with a little bit, I don't know, a little bit more energy, a little feel like you're here. All right, here we go. I am the power of abundance, giving and receiving gratefully. Now that was awesome. All right, and we get another performance from Nicholas.
One more time. The dawn is filled with dreams. So many dreams, which one is mine? One must be right for me. Which dream of all the dreams? When there's a dream for every star, and there are oh so many stars, so many stars. Oh, the wind is full of songs. So many songs, which one is mine? One must be right for me. Which song of all the songs? When there's a song for every star, and there are oh so many stars, so many stars. Alone the countless days, the endless nights I have searched. So many eyes, so many hearts, so many smiles. Which one to choose, which way to go? How can I tell, how will I know out of all? So many stars, so many stars. Countless days, the endless nights that I have searched. So many eyes, so many hearts, so many smiles. Which one to choose, which way to go? How can I tell, how will I know out of all? So many stars, so many stars. So many stars, so many stars, so many stars.
We are so blessed to have you, Nicholas. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. All right, part of my job is to highlight just a few of the activities that are going on here at Unity and Marin. One of them being Earth Day celebration next Sunday on the 21st from 12 to 4. There's going to be music and free Beyond Burgers. And there's also a potluck, so bring something to share. There'll be lots of information about how to live lightly on this earth, so please join us next Sunday. Save the dates, May 5th, 2 things are going on. There's the Church Center app workshop, so if you haven't gotten that app on your phone or you're kind of freaking out about technology, what you do is you exhale. Eliminate any blockage you have into your head, like I'm too old, I'm too this, whatever, let it go. We have someone here to help you navigate the app. So that's from 12 to 1. Or you can go and share moments with Nancy and Dawn that will take you on a spring wildflower walk. So those are your choices on May 5th. Well, not really, but okay. I noticed that if it was 11 to noon, I would say, yes, you could do both, but it says 12 to 1, noon to 3. So you can do 12 to 1 and then run. Wherever they are in the wildflowers, your choice. And then we have Absolute Abundance Metamorphosis class workshop with Deanne, and that is a fantastic class. I've taken it. It's well worth it. So put that on your calendar. And then the thing that I need to talk about the most, next month is our Yes, it is. I'm going to drill it. We have 2 days of activities and fun. Saturday on the 18th from 4 to 7 is a dance party. And that's my kind of hours because I need to be in bed by 8. So it's a 60s dance party. The tickets are $100. If you'd like to give a little bit more to help out other people who would like to come but don't have the resources, you can do that too. Everything's online. There's a DJ. There's raffle. It's going to be a party. You come dressed in the 60s. I got to dig out my big afro. But anyway, yeah, so Good Vibrations, that's on Saturday. And then on Sunday, we are honoring our 60th year legacy. And there are people coming, very important people coming. Reverend Bill, Reverend Medora, Reverend Tim. So, okay, listen up. This is like you haven't seen your cousin in 20 years, and they're coming to your house. You're the host. Don't you spiff up your house? You bring the food in. You have a gracious welcome. Oh, Steve and Heidi are coming too. So people are coming from far away. So we want to spiff up the place, and we want to make sure we have a spread at our hospitality that's like no other. So the main course, dessert, and drinks will be catered. We are responsible for the side dishes. And I don't want to see a bunch of chips. I want to see some side dishes. Is that understood? Okay. If I have to take you down south, we will. Southern home, bring it in. Please put your potluck items online so that we don't have a bunch of chips. I'm serious. No chips. No chips, unless it's coming with guacamole and some good salsa. Otherwise, forget it. Just forget it. So potato salad, macaroni salad, casserole. You know how this goes. So make sure you put your items online so we don't have a bunch of... You guys listen so well. Okay. Could the prayer chaplains please rise? Oh, we are loaded today. We are loaded today. This is a great opportunity to share whatever is on your heart with these wonderful individuals of our community. They rock, they share their time. Yes, give them a hand. We love you and we bless you. Thank you so much, prayer chaplains, for being available. And at this time, I'd like to invite our youth and family to come in. Our youth and family. Youth and family. Okay, no, I'll be the kid. I'll be the kid. So let's keep in mind all the children of the world, and let's bless them. So go ahead and raise your arms, and let's say a prayer for them. You are the perfect expression of divine light. We love you exactly the way you are. And then will everyone rise for our prayer of protection? The light of God surrounds us. I am the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. I am the love of God. The power of God protects us. I am the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. I am the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is. And let's sing our community song.
Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Gratitude before me, gratitude behind me, gratitude to the left of me, gratitude to the right of me, gratitude above me, gratitude below me, gratitude within me, gratitude all around me. I'm so grateful. 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 Have a beautiful day. Come back at noon for the Remembering Circle. And thank you, JD. Thank you, Nicholas Beard.